Hey, my name's Jenny, and I am in the EP certification program, and I am here to do a 5-minute teaching for the school director track. And so I'm going to be talking today about what we call the mountain chart or the mountain journey, which is basically, the process that we go on from the time that we get called into ministry, that we get prophesied over, that we receive words of destiny, and then actually stepping into the fulfillment of them. We often refer to Joseph because he's such a beautiful picture of just like this journey and this process that God will often take us on. So Joseph, God gave him dreams when he was a teenager. He was young. He was a favored son, and God showed him that there was greatness, that his mother and father, his brothers would bow down to him. And then Joseph took this dream, and there were things that he lacked in character and wisdom and discernment, and he kind of blabbed his dream and he shared with his family. And he found that what it provoked in those around him, they certainly were not cheering him on or championing him, but it provoked jealousy. And so there were also things that Joseph didn't discern and had to be worked out of him. So here he finds himself, God gives him these amazing words of destiny and says, this is where I'm going to take you. You have this greatness that you're going to step into. But then he finds himself in the pit. And that's often what happens is like we get words of destiny or prophetic words spoken over us. And then sometimes most often we go through a season of reversal, and it's like, seems as if the very opposite of what has been spoken over us happens, and things turn around and go in a negative direction. It talks in Psalm 105 verse 19, it says that until the time that the word came to pass, the word of the Lord tested Joseph. And so it's like we find ourselves in these places of reversal where it's like we have to hang on to the prophetic promises. We have to hang on to the things that were spoken over us, and so this journey is needful. Like we get called, but then we usually don't have the character, the integrity, the strength, the perseverance, what is going to be needed to help us to be sustained and to have lasting fruit when we're, at that mountaintop position, and so God is so kind, and he takes us on this beautiful journey. And so, even though Joseph found himself in the pit and then eventually out of the pit and sold into slavery in the prison, there are things that God uses, these difficult circumstances and these things that we have to walk through to work out in ourselves, and so it's like, he puts us through this process. And it's like, because the difficult places, the places of pressure, the places of pain, they reveal the things in us, like the foundational things that aren't strengthened, the cracks, the weaknesses. Whether, in Joseph, there was some pride. There was some pride there that needed to be worked out. For some of us, it might be more of an insecurity where we don't believe in ourselves, or there could be jealousy. We're not good at championing our brothers and sisters. Maybe you have fear or identity issues, or just a tendency to, to act like an orphan, to have that kind of victim mentality where you feel like, you're all alone, you're not loved, you're not accepted. All of these things have to be refined and worked out of us on our process up the mountain. Because, when we get to the mountaintop, whether it's, whatever your fivefold office position is, whether it's a prophet, apostle, evangelist, pastor, teacher, when we get to the top, whatever we carry, whatever we have in our integrity and our character, in our own personal revelation, that is what we're going to duplicate in the people that we're training up and in the people that we're equipping. So, if you get to the top, or you try and short circuit the process and you get up there and you find out that you're an orphan, you're not going to be able to raise up kingdom sons and daughters, because you can only duplicate yourself, and so God allows us to go through the pain of the process, and he's kind. He doesn't just he doesn't just rip us open at the beginning like an onion and like just pull and just kind of be like, okay, these are all the things that are wrong with you. It's like he takes us by the hand and he takes us on this journey. And as we grow and as we're ready to go to the next level, he then like peels back another layer. And then so he, and he reveals these things to get out. Like I said, the orphan thinking, poverty thinking, the fear of man, these things that are not suitable for someone who, who is going to be, at that top of the mountain, so to speak. He wants us to fulfill our destiny, but he needs us to be pure-hearted, have right motives, right intentions, so that we can be sustained, because he doesn't want us to fall off, once we get up there. So it's like we have to embrace this process, allow him to get rid of all of our ungodly beliefs, the things that are holding us back, if we want to really step into the fullness of our destiny and be sustained in that place. Hey, Marlene, good to see you.